You can cut out of this.
Game 2 between Wheeling and Carson-Newman set to get underway. Carson-Newman takes the first game 16-1. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagle Sports Network. It's Kaylee Bowers on the mound for the Eagles. The right-handed freshman has had a very nice start to her Eagle campaign. 2.80 ERA, 3-3 win-loss record in 9 appearances. Gotten 2 starts. Going to get her third this afternoon. She's going to face off with Mackie Paxson to start this one. She deals the first pitch of the at-bat, outside corner, called strike 1. What an offensive output from the Eagles in Game 1. 16 runs of 4 innings of offense, 5 in the first, 7 in the second, and then 2 between the third and the fourth inning, as this one runs low for ball 1. Wheeling was able to get on the scoreboard in the top of inning number 5 before the Eagles closed out in a run rule fashion. Emma Frost got the win in Game 1. Lexi Lacey came in and pitched the final 2 innings as Paxson lines this one towards center, gets off the glove of Kennedy Warder, and a good start for Wheeling. A leadoff single to start Game 2. Paxson lined that one. Warder almost had a play on it, hit off the tip of her glove. She's aboard with no one out. Here's Shyla Miller. She didn't start last game, getting the start at second here in Game 2. As Bowers deals inside, Miller squared around the bump, wisely pulled back. As the count is 1-0. Looking at the Eagle infield, at first it's Maisie Hughes, second Kennedy Warder, shortstop is Hayden Dye, third base Brooke Matazowski. Behind the plate is Macaulay Bailey once again for Game 2 as the 1-0 fouled off on the bunt attempt by Miller. As the count moves at 1-1. Leadoff base runner for Wheeling here in the top of the first. As you take a look at the bunt from Miller, just didn't fully get her bat head around as it corkscrewed foul. Bowers, the right-hander, has pitched 20 innings. She has 2 saves on the year. As she deals a 1-1, Miller lays down the bunt left side, but it goes foul. So she'll have to square around and hit here with 2 strikes unless she wants to take the chance on striking out by fouling off a bunt. Trying to move Paxson over to second, but has been unsuccessful so far. Wheeling tried for the hit and run in Game 1, but it negated what was one of their 3 hits in the ball game as Bowers misses low. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. On the other side on the mound, it's Riley Peters. We'll talk about her in a little bit. Again, big point of emphasis for Wheeling is the team ERA. It's 257 out of 260. As that one misses outside, count moves full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But hitting the ball, Wheeling as a team hits .312. It struggled to bring in those runners, only 65 runs on the season. It's a 3-2 chop towards Matazowski at third, goes to second for 1, to first. Is not in time as Miller reaches on the fielder's choice. Paxson taking off the base paths. Really nice play on the backhand by Brooke Matazowski. Not enough to turn 2, but gets the lead runner. Backhand, her momentum is carrying her into foul ground. Tough play for her, and she makes it for the first out. Here's Katie Sayre in the batter's box. Runner on first, 1 away. First pitch misses for ball 1. Home plate umpire for Game 2 is David Wittenberg. Carolyn Zeisler moves to field him for the second game. As the next pitch misses low, ball 2. Sayre came in to pinch hit in Game 2. And then she caught the rest of that game for Wheeling. As the Eagles dominant, clinical in that ball game, really, with 16 runs. As Bowers finds his own for the first strike of the at-bat, the count moves 2-1. As a team, Carson-Newman's ERA sitting near the mid-4s, 4.4 on the season, but Wheeling a 10 flat for its pitching staff. As Bowers deals a 2-1, it misses, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Katie Sayre. Runner on first for the Cardinals with just 1 down in the inning. A chance to maybe strike first in this ball game. After gaining a little momentum late in Game 2, Sayre lines this one out to center. Back on it is marked to the track. He gets down. Late jump by Miller. She's going to round second and head for third. Guy pirouettes, no throw to third. It's a single. That moves Shyla Miller first to third. Wheeling with some early traffic. Runners on the corners with just 1 down. Sayre just a little bit off of that being a 2-run home run. Got it all the way back, hit the heel of the wall as Bowers going to chat with Bailey here with 1 away. It'll be Cassie Fay to step in. She had 2 of the 3 Wheeling hits in Game 1. Best hitter overall in the lineup, hitting .460 on the season, hitting in the cleanup. She'll step in, an RBI chance for her with runners on the corners. Bowers with an early jam. Trying to work out of it. As she deals first pitch of the at-bat to Fay. Misses the outside edge, ball 1. Nice afternoon for softball despite the chilly temperatures due to the wind. It's a sunny afternoon, wispy clouds in the backdrop of the Vic here on the campus of Carson-Newman. Next pitch is in for strike 1. So as I mentioned, this really is the last non-conference game for the Eagles. They will see Milligan, North Greenville, and Converse later in the year, but from here on out, it's mostly conference play. As Fay pokes it right side and through, it's going to score Miller, and Wheeling takes a 1-0 advantage. The RBI single from Wheeling's best hitter. Score is 1, just did enough with that one. Reached out and slapped it through the right side of the infield. And Shyla Miller scores from third. As Katie Sayre moves over to second. Now we're going to have a pinch runner. I believe Sayre is going to exit. In favor of Rain Casassa. So Casassa comes in a pinch run for Katie Sayre. A little bit more speed on the base pass in scoring position now for the Wheeling Cardinals, leading this one 1-0. Here's Anna Florzak stepping in. First pitch from Bowers. Misses the outside edge of the plate. Ball 1. Wheeling coming into this one again, a little momentum late in the ball game. So far, 3 hits here in the top of the first. It's been effective in the first frame of action. Next pitch, clips the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Be big for the freshman Kaylee Bowers to limit the damage to 1 here. Again, Wheeling desperate, looking to break what is now a 9-game losing streak. Was 8 coming into today, and after dropping the first game to the Eagles, now loses their 9 straight, sitting at 3-17 on the year. Next pitch is in for strike 2 as Bailey checks down to first to check on Fay. She's back in ahead of the throw. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away. Double play in order for the Eagle defense. But Wheeling also with a chance to extend this 1-run lead. Next pitch to Florzak, just misses the outside part of the plate. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down for Kaylee Bowers in the Eagle defense. We'll talk about the outfield here in a moment. Mentioned the infield moments ago. It's a 2-2. Grounded towards Matazowski at third. She'll tag the base for 1. Throw across the diamond is in time for an inning-ending double play. Brooke Matazowski playing the hot corner, does her job there, records all 3 outs including the inning-ending double play, and the threat for Wheeling is negated, although the Cardinals do get on the board first. It's 1-0 Wheeling. We'll head to the bottom half of the first where the Eagles look to recover here on the Eagles Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The number one source for Carson-Newman athletics gear is shopseeandeagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shopseeandeagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. ShopSeeAndEagles.com.
Bottom one here at the Vic. Carson-Newman trails Wheeling 1-0. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagle Sports Network as Wheeling has its first lead of the day. It was all Carson-Newman in game one. And now the Eagles having to play from behind, but with the offensive output in game one, the Eagles can do more of the same. Should be no problem to bring this one back. Abby Martin will step in to lead it off. Macy Hughes on deck. Macaulay Bailey in the hole as we go 1, 2, 3. Eagles' first trip through the order here in the bottom of the first. They'll face off with Riley Peters. She has a 9 flat ERA and 18 2/3 innings pitched on the year. 34 hits, 24 earned runs, 15 walks. Again, walks have been Wheeling's issue. The starter in game one, Maria Clark, had 46. As here's the first pitch from Peters. Gets the inside corner, called strike one. 1-3 win-loss record for the starter Peters. Responsible for one of Wheeling's 3 wins so far this year. As the count 0-1. To the leadoff, Abby Martin. She takes again outside corner, called strike two. Quickly, Peters up 0-2 on the leadoff hitter Martin, who went 2 of 4 last game at the plate. She awaits the 0-2. Peters looks, hums, and deals. Check swing up high. Don't believe she went. She did not. Count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pretty much the same lineup for Carson-Newman here in game 2, other than Winter Morris in the 7 spot. She's a designated player here in game 2, taking the spot of Brooklyn Lucero. Martin slaps this one back to the rubber, hits off a Peters on the mound, and the third baseman Florzak cannot make the play. It's going to be an infield single for Abby Martin. Hard hit ball right back to the circle. Got off the knees of Riley Peters. Nice shot by Florzak to recover, but the throw not able to be dug up regardless at first. So Abby Martin aboard, her third hit of the afternoon. 2 in game 1, now 1 here in game 2. Macy Hughes steps in. Tying run aboard for the Eagles here in the bottom of the first. Hughes takes inside at the knees for strike one. No one out as Hughes up to the plate. Abby Martin aboard first after the infield single. The 0-1 corkscrew out to left. That's a base knock. Martin pulls up at second, and Hughes tallies back-to-back hits now for the Eagles as Martin moves over to second. Hughes takes first. Here's Macaulay Bailey. She had herself a 2-run blast in game 1. The Eagles had 3 2-run home runs, 2 off the bat of Brooklyn Lucero, who's not the starting lineup for game 2. But she had herself a really nice game 1. Her first 2 home runs of the season. Now Macaulay Bailey up at the plate. First pitch to her, taken for ball 1. Bailey's now 8 home runs, leads the South Atlantic Conference. Her 27 RBIs are second. That might have changed. Her 25 were second. We'll take a look and see if top has changed as Bailey lines this one left side and foul. So Bailey's still second in the conference, 27 RBIs. As Lenore Ryan's Mardigan leads the conference with 30. 7 more games played as this one misses low. So Bailey, 21 games played. Hayden Dye also 5th on the list with 23 RBIs. Bailey hitting now over 400 on the year at 406. So less games played, only 3 less RBIs than the league leader. This one misses high. Ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Bailey. Again, right now, walking Macaulay Bailey might be the best result you can ask for with how she's hitting the ball. As Peters deals a 3-1, Bailey lifts this one left side and it'll go foul. A foul ball and home run, as we like to call them, as this one is out of play. Looking at the Eagles in statistical categories, batting average, Hayden Dye 5th in the conference at 419. Bailey likely not far behind. As here's the payoff pitch to Macaulay Bailey. That misses high and away, ball 4. That will load the bases here with no one out. That brings in Hayden Dye. Just talked about her 5th in batting average in the South Atlantic Conference, 5th in RBIs, 5th in home runs. So Hayden Dye right among the league leaders in hitting. She'll step in, bases juice, big opportunity for her, as he will still trail by 1, but bases loaded and nobody out. First pitch from Peters to Dye, misses for ball 1. So Dye through 21 games, hitting .419, 23 RBIs, 6 home runs. It's tied up at the top. 3 are tied for 6th, or 3 are tied for 3rd. Brooks of Wingate, Mardigan of Lenore Ryan, and Dye for the Eagles, all tied at 6 as the 1-0 misses high and away for ball 2. No league leaders for Carson-Newman in the stolen bases department, but when the Eagles do decide to steal, they've had success. 20 of their 24 attempts stealing bases have been successful, as this one clips the zone, first strike 1. Hasn't been a factor yet, but Abby Martin robbed 2 bags in game 1. As the count now 2 balls and 1 strike to the right-handed Dye. Pitch is high, ball 3. Nowhere to put Hayden Dye, a 3-1 count. Riley Peters 1 misfire away from walking in the tying run here in the bottom of the first. Martin on 3rd. Bailey on 1st. And Hughes on 2nd. Dye lifts this one deep left. It's tailing foul towards the batting cage. And the count moves full. Martin on 3rd, Hughes on 2nd, Bailey on 1st. Dye in the box, Manizowski on deck, Warder in the hole for Carson-Newman. Here bottom 1. Wheeling gets on the board first as you take a look at Dye's numbers. Here's the payoff. Low, ball 4, and that will walk in Abby Martin, and we're tied at 1. Just like that, the Eagle is able to recover that 1 run given up in the top of the first inning. As that'll bring in Brooke Matizowski. Bases still juice. Eagles now 1 run on 2 hits. Wheeling tallied 3 in the first. 3 hits and 1 run to show for it as the pitch to Matizowski in for strike 1. Dating back to that top of the first, Brooke Matizowski defensively ended the inning. Taking an unassisted force out at 3rd, then throw across in time to first. To leave runner stranded on 1st and 2nd. Here's the 0-1. She takes, but it's right down the middle, strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes to count to Brooke Matizowski. As here's the 0-2. Matizowski dribbles it left side and through. Scoring easily from 3rd is Hughes. Bailey will pull up at 3rd, and the Eagles take the lead right back. It's 2-1. Nice 2-strike hitting from Brooke Matizowski. Doing enough to get one in. Bailey wisely pulls up at 3rd base as Wheeling does a good job to get it in. right past the glove of Florzak at third. And the Eagles quick to act, trailing for the first time today, quickly bring it back. It's 2-1. Kennedy Warder in the box. The base is still loaded. No one out here in the bottom of the first. We're getting a chance for the Eagles to put up a crooked number. They've been doing that today. This one line down the left field line. It's fair. Scoring easily is Bailey. Coming around third and touching home is Hayden Dye. And now Brooke Matazowski will touch home. A 3 RBI double for Kennedy Warder. The Eagles lead balloons to 5-1, replicating the effort in game one. As this was just a laser down the left field line off the bat of Kennedy Warder. And Florzak had a shot at it, but not quick enough. And Kennedy Warder clears the bases. 5 runs in the bottom of the first of game one. Same total here in game two. As the Eagles surge back in front. Again, quick to act, being down for the first time today. Not skipping a beat in between game one and game two. Winner Morris will step in. Warder on second. Still no one out here in the bottom of the first. Here's a pitch from Peters. It's in for strike one. So a 3 RBI double for Kennedy Warder. Hayden Dye walked in a run. Brooke Matazowski singled one home, and that's the 5 runs on the board for the Eagles. Morris takes inside. Gets away from that one. Ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, no one out. Kennedy Warder, the only Eagle on base as of right now, standing on second. The freshman Morris stands back in. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to her. Here's the pitch. Morris takes. Outside edge, called strike 2. If you're just joining us, the Eagles now with 21 runs on the day. 16 in game one, which is a 5-inning run rule victory in 16-1 fashion, and now 5 here in game two so far as Morris takes high for ball 2. Another highlight of the day, the Eagles pitching staff. Emma Frost pitched the first 3 innings of game one, did not surrender a run. Lexi Lacey surrenders 1, but still a solid couple innings from her. Now Kaylee Bowers through an inning has allowed 1 run on 3 hits. Next pitch to Morris, high and away, ball 3. So Morris in the box. On deck is Vandergriff, and the hole is Brooks as the Eagles getting close to batting around here in the first inning. 3-2 the count to winner Morris, so she awaits the payoff. Here's the pitch. This one chopped foul. Morris does a nice job to fight that one off. And look to see another pitch. Warder on second after the 3 RBI double. As Morris looks to cash her in. Peters takes a look at her wrist, deals the next 3-2. Morris takes low and in, ball 4. Nice at bat from the freshman, and she'll work aboard via the walk. Mary Vandergriff will step in. Runners on first and second for her. She had a nice game as well. 2 hits for her in game one. And heads up base running 2. Mary Vandergriff, gone back to this a couple times. Just a really nice play from the senior out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Took off from third as Wheeling was bobbling an infield single by Trinity Brooks. Vandergriff saw their eyes were traced away, and she got over to third. This first pitch misses the outside corner. It's ball 1. Vandergriff in the box. Trinity Brooks will round out the first trip through the Eagle order, and we'll see Abby Martin again here in the bottom of the first. Eagles lead 5-1. As here's a 1-0 to Vandergriff. She takes strike 1 in the inner half as the count moves 1 ball and 1 strike. As we talked about, the Eagles starting to get into heavy conference play after this doubleheader with Wheeling. We'll see Limestone on Wednesday. And then Marshall at home on Sunday. Vandergriff takes the next one high as the count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. Challenging stretch for the Eagles coming up with 2 of their next 3 series on the road. At Limestone this upcoming week, we'll see Marshall at home and then head to Newberry as Vandergriff pops this one high towards right. It's taken care of by Paxson. And now the throw in is cut off. Actually, that's Kelsey Green in right field that makes the play for the first out of the frame. Warder and Morris stay put, as now Trinity Brooks, she had an RBI triple in game one. She'll step in with one down. Double play is in order for Wheeling, as the infield is in. Peters will deal the first pitch of the at-bat to Brooks. She dances out of the way of the pitch inside for ball one. Mentioned 2 out of 3 of the next series are on the road, but then Carson-Newman will finish the month of March at home with Lincoln Memorial and Wingate. The month of March has been solid for Carson-Newman, as here's the 1-0 to Brooks. Squares around a bunt, not able to pull back in time as the count moves 1 ball and 1 strike. In the month of March, Eagles 4-2, or 5-2 now, 2-0 in conference play, looking to improve on that mark in game 2 this afternoon. As the next pitch to Brooks runs high for ball 2. Really impressive showing from the Eagles at Coker in its first South Atlantic Conference doubleheader. A 9-3 win wire to wire in game 1, had to play from behind. Trailed 6-0, came back to win that one 18-11. Brooks takes the next pitch just off the outer half of the plate for ball 3. So Peters in danger of loading the bases once again before we head back to the top, as Trinity Brooks looks to get aboard. Peters takes a look at her wrist, deals the 3-1. Brooks checks swing, fouls it off. As it got off the handle of her bat, count moves full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Let's see, did this get the bat of Brooks before her arm? I think it did, as she fouled it off the hands. Full count to Trinity Brooks, hitting in the 9-hole. The true freshman awaits the offering from Riley Peters. Here's a pitch. High and away, ball 4. Nice job by Brooks to hold up. And that will reload the bases for the top of the order and Abby Martin. 5-1 your score and a chance for the Eagles to add more after Wheeling struck first. Carson-Newman wasting no time getting back on the scoreboard. A 3 RBI double from Kennedy Warder, the highlight, and an RBI single from Brooke Matazowski as well. Eagles also scored a run on Hayden Dye, bases loaded walk. Martin takes the first pitch high and in for ball 1. So Warder on third, Morris on second, Trinity Brooks on first for Carson-Newman, with the leadoff hitter Abby Martin standing in. She awaits the 1-0. There's a pitch from Peters. This one's lifted to right. Green and shallow right underneath it. Warder's going to attack from third and try for home. The throw is offline, and she will score as Morris slides in safe for the third. Risky there by Kennedy Warder on a shallow fly ball to right, but Kelsey Green's throw was well up the line. Sayre tried to tag her behind the bat, couldn't get her. And Kennedy Warder scores on a sacrifice fly off the bat of Abby Martin. So now second and third as both Morris and Brooks advance. As Macy Hughes, 1 for 1, will step back in. Here's a pitch to her. It's fouled off, high and on a play. Six to 1, Eagles out in front here in game 2 of the doubleheader. As Hughes awaits the pitch, this one runs high for ball 1. So Riley Peters' line so far, 2/3 of an inning pitch, 4 hits, 6 earned runs, 4 walks. It's been a problem for the Wheeling Cardinals this afternoon. Free bases. As here's the 1-1 to Hughes. It's high, ball 2. Two balls and 1 strike to Macy Hughes. As a pitch to her is high, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Macy Hughes. As talked about walks being an issue in game 1, 8 free bases dealt by Wheeling, and now here in game 2 already 4, and we're only in the first. Here's a 3-1 to Hughes. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Big cut from Macy Hughes as the count now moves full. 6-1 the score. Runners on second and third. As Hughes awaits a 3-2. First base is vacant as the payoff misses away, ball 4. Fifth free base of the inning for Riley Peters. And Macaulay Bailey will step back in. Bailey walked in her first at-bat, eventually came in to score just moments ago as the Eagles have batted around and still working through the order with 2 outs in the frame. Eagles were excellent with 2 outs in game 1 as Bailey lifts this one to left, going back to the track to the wall. It's gone. A grand slam for Macaulay Bailey, her second of the doubleheader. And she tacks on 4 more RBIs to her total, which now takes a league lead. 31 RBIs on the season now for Macaulay Bailey. And the Eagles lead 10-1, a 10 spot here in the bottom of the first. Absolutely crushed that one up high. Took a big hack and it paid off. Bailey clears the bases with 1 swing of the bat. She'll touch home herself. As the Eagles still moving through the order, 10-1 the score. How about that for an answer? Wheeling scores first with 1 in the top of the first. Carson-Newman strikes back with 10. Doesn't get any easier now as it's Hayden Dye who will step in. First pitch to her is high for ball 1. That's Bailey's second bomb of the afternoon. She continues to separate herself from the top of the league standings. Now 9 home runs. Second closest is 7. As Dye takes outside. Ball 2. Mentioned those 4 RBIs on that grand slam put her atop the league in RBIs. Taking over Mardigan from Lenore Ryan, her spot. She's played 7 more games. So excellent stuff from Macaulay Bailey in her sophomore campaign. As Dye takes ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Hayden Dye. Bailey, Dye, and Matazowski back to back to back is not a pleasant situation for pitchers to be in, especially runners on base. Luckily for Peters, nobody on for Dye. She takes high and in. They're going to call strike as Dye takes inside. Three balls, 2 strikes to count to Hayden Dye. She awaits a pitch from Peters, takes high, ball 4. So Dye works herself aboard. As now Brooke Matazowski will step up. Eagles get another runner aboard. Looking to build on what's been a 10-run bottom of the first. Already in run rule territory in the first inning. As Peters spins the ball in her right hand, looks down at her wrist. Will deal the first pitch of the at-bat. That misses for ball 1. 6 free passes in the first inning for Riley Peters. And she's allowed 10 earned runs on 5 hits. 4 of those coming in the Macaulay Bailey grand slam. A 1-0. Well high on the rise ball, ball 2. Nice job by Sarah behind the plate to glove that one and not allow Hayden Dye to advance to second. As a count now, 2 balls and no strikes. Wheeling with a solid first inning will come to plate and look to create more positive momentum as Matazowski watches this one high, ball 3. 1 run on 3 hits in the top of the first for Wheeling. Again, got the lead for the first time today, but did not hold on to it for long. The Eagles strike back with 10 here in the first. We'll take a look at exactly what has gone down here in a moment. Here's a 3-0 to Matazowski. It misses, ball 4. So now first and second as Dye trots over to second. As Peters' walk total moves to 7. That'll bring in Kennedy Warder. She had a 3 RBI double as we take a look at what has gone down here in the bottom of the first. Started off, Hayden Dye walked with bases loaded. She walked again here in this frame. Matazowski with an RBI single. Warder with a 3 RBI double. Abby Martin with a sacrifice fly. And then Macaulay Bailey most recently with the grand slam. pitch to Warder. Finds the inside hard of the plate for strike one. 10-1 and a chance for more with Matozowski on first, Hayden Dye on second. Peters looking to get out of the frame and let her offense get back to work, because that'll have to wait. Warder grounds it through the left side, coming in to score is Dye, and the Eagles have their 11th run at the bottom of the first. It's 11-1. That'll bring winner Morris back to the plate as Warder gets her second knock of the first. Now a single and a double for Kennedy Warder. She scores Hayden Dye, her 4th RBI here in this first inning. So between Kennedy Warder and Macaulay Bailey, the two have accounted for 8 of the 11 Eagle runs here in the first. That'll force a change for Wheeling. It's going to be Randy Holder who comes back in, her second appearance in this doubleheader. We'll take a look at Holder once again on the other side. Eagles lead 11-1 here on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Eagles keep the train moving here in the bottom of the first. As Randy Holder enters the game, we'll take a look at Riley Peters' final line. As she only records 2 outs in this ball game, the Eagles tally 11 runs off of her, and winner Morris with a chance to add more. Holder has thrown today, and she'll throw again here in game 2. As first pitch to Morris misses low, ball 1. So Riley Peters, 2/3 of an inning pitch, 6 hits, 11 earned runs, 7 walks for Riley Peters. Next pitch to Morris is low, ball 2. Again, if you missed it, Macaulay Bailey launched a grand slam, which now puts her atop the South Atlantic Conference in runs batted in with 31. As Morris swings and misses at the 2-0. Count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. Next closest is Lenore Ryan's Mardigan as she sits with 30. Julia Mardigan with 30 RBIs on the season. She entered the day atop the league leaders, but has been surpassed by Macaulay Bailey. The 2-1 to Morris is fought into right, and it gets by the right fielder. Morris rounds first, head for 2. 2 runs will score. Morris now rounds second. She heads for 3. Michael Graves is going to send her all the way home. The throw is offline. It gets towards the Wheeling dugout. Morris trucking for home. She will score. Winter Morris, an inside the park home run. There is definitely an error on the play, but we'll let it go for now. Winter Morris touches them all and scores 3, including herself. And Carson-Newman has cracked this one open. It's 14-1. It got by Green and right, and Morris was going for home all the way. No hesitation from head coach Michael Graves at third. He sent her. The throw home to Sarah, deflected off of her, and then Morris takes off and scores. What a play, as the Eagles have now put up 14. Mary Vandergriff steps in as the first pitch skips in for ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Vandergriff. As the next pitch from Holder finds the zone for strike one. What an inning it's been for the Eagles, to say the least. We'll take a look at it here in a moment as Holder gets back in the circle. 1 ball and 1 strike at the count to Mary Vandergriff. With Trinity Brooks on deck, Eagles getting close to batting around for the second time this inning. As Vandergriff skies it right side, hits off the top of the press box here at the Vic. As the count moves, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now 30 runs for the Eagles. And we're not even through the first inning of game number 2. Eagles put up 16 through 4 innings in game 1, and now 14 here in game 2. As Vandergriff takes the off-speed low. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Mary Vandergriff. The pitch popped up right side. Faye gives it a look, and it's foul. Count remains 2-2 to Mary Vandergriff with nobody aboard and 2 down. Holder looking to finally get the Cardinals out of the inning. As here's the next 2-2. It's a low and away, ball 3. 14-1 your score. If you tuned out after the top of the first, you missed 14 runs for the Eagles here in the bottom. It's been something to behold. We'll recap it when we hit the top of the second. Vandergriff lines this one to right, gets down in front of Green. It's another base hit for the Eagles. Vandergriff works herself aboard, and the Eagles will continue to move to Trinity Brooks. As Vandergriff gets her first knock of game 2. Brooks walked in her first at-bat. She'll get at-bat number 2 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Lefty-lefty matchup here between Holder and Brooks, as the first one cut on a miss for strike 1. Vandergriff on first, Brooks in the box. Top of the order awaits, as the Eagles will bat through the starting 9 at least twice here in the first. Next pitch is skied left side. It's tailing foul. Almost got some fans sitting up on the hill there, but nice awareness to duck out of the way of the skying foul ball near Davis Street. No balls, 2 strikes to count to the freshman Brooks as she steps back in. Holder toes rubber. Brooks, really nice campaign so far, 303, as she takes outside for ball 1. Brooks walked and came in to score here in inning number 1, and she awaits the 1-2. Nice off speed. It's dropped, but it's called strike 3 nonetheless. Now they're going to have to throw over to first. It's in time for out number 3. And the inning comes to a close, but not before the Eagles score 14. And it's 14-1. We'll head to the top of the second. We'll have to recap the bottom of the first right here on the Eagles Sports Network.
There's something about a small community that unites us, whether it's cheering on our favorite team or the way we come together in a crisis. Small communities are made up of people with big hearts. We're dedicated to hard work and innovation through sunny days and stormy nights. AEC is always here, powering the people and the places that make our community a spectacular place to call home. AEC, power what matters most.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Back for the top of the second. Ryan Wilkes with you here on the Eagles Sports Network as Carson-Newman leads Wheeling 14-1. And you're not misreading it. It is at the top of the second inning. Carson-Newman puts up 14, goes 8 of 10 from the plate. 5 of 6 with runners in scoring position and 4 of 5 with 2 outs in the inning. Trailed 1-0 after the top of the first as Jenna Hollerick will step in. No one on and no one out. As Kaylee Bowers back in the circle, deals the first pitch of the at-bat, chopped towards Matazowski left side, scoops up third to first is in time for the first out. One pitch, one out for Bowers and the Eagle defense. Here in the top of the second. Nice play again by Matazowski. She's now recorded all 4 outs off the bat of the Cardinals here in this second game. Not a bad first for Wheeling. Went 3 of 5 from the plate. 1 of 2 runners in scoring position, cashing the first run of the game. It has not been enough as Stoner in the box takes the first pitch for strike 1. Let's talk about the scoring after this next pitch from Bowers. It's quite a bit. We'll talk about it here in a second as Bowers prepares to deal the 0-1. Looks home and fires a home check swing. Did she go? We're going to check. Yes, she did. Strike 2. So in the top of the first, Casey Fay singled through the right side, which scored 1. She's been solid today for Wheeling. But then that opened the floodgates for the Eagles in the bottom of the first. As the count 0-2 to Stoner. Here's a pitch from Bowers. It's fought off. Nice job by Stoner in the box to stay alive. In the bottom of the first, Hayden Dye worked a bases-loaded walk that scored 1. Brooke Matazowski followed it up with an RBI single. Kennedy Warder, 3 RBI double. That scored 3. Then a sacrifice fly by Abby Martin. And Macaulay Bailey's grand slam. Kennedy Warder's second RBI hit of the inning with an RBI single. And then Winter Morris tripled in an error. That scored 1, and that's going to be a strikeout for Kaylee Bowers. So Morris scored 3 on that triple, and then she eventually came in to score on the error. So she scored via the error, scored 2. 2 RBIs for her in that at-bat. 2 down for Bowers. As she'll face Lakin Blackburn, getting her first cuts of the day. Watches the first one in for strike 1. So Bowers looking for a 1-2-3 frame. Gave up 3 hits in the first, and Wheeling was able to scratch across a run and take its first lead of the game, which has quickly dissipated. Next pitch misses away. Count moves 1 ball and 1 strike. Crooked numbers for the Eagles all day today, but the bottom of the first, the most crooked of them all so far today, is the 1-1. Misses high, ball 2. Eagles had innings of 5 runs and 7 in game 1. Scored 5 in the first, 7 in the second, and then 2 apiece in the third and the fourth. And has almost eclipsed that total already through 1 inning here in game 2. The 1-1 misses low. Count moves 2 balls and 1 strike. Really a nice afternoon if you're looking outside. Blue skies, wispy clouds in the backdrop of the Vic. But it is windy and chilly outside as we are about midway through March. I would like to think spring weather is on the way as this one is in for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Lakin and Blackburn as she looks to keep the inning alive for Wheeling. Bowers looks for a 1-2-3 frame. She'll deal a 1-2, swung on a miss, strike 3. And Kaylee Bowers goes 1-2-3 through the Wheeling order, and we'll head to the bottom of the second. The Eagles look to add more, already leading 14-1 here on the Eagle Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman Athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeingEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeingEagles.com. Visit today.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Back for the bottom of the second, Carson-Newman leads Wheeling 14-1 here in game 2 of the doubleheader. Carson-Newman takes the first game 16-1. Has put up 14 here in game 2. As it's back to the top for Abby Martin. Eagles ready to do their third trip through the order as Martin steps up, hitting 328 on the year. As Holder back in the circle. Got the last out of inning number 1. Deals the first pitch of the at-bat to Martin. It's low for ball 1. So Martin in the box, Hughes on deck. And Bailey in the hole, assuming the Eagles roll with the usual suspects here in the second inning. Want to know the count? The pitch to Martin clips the bottom of the zone for strike 1. Bottom 2, the Eagles, all 14 of the runs came in that first inning. As the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Martin. Holder deals a 1-1. Martin lines this one to left center. It's down for a base hit. It'll trickle all the way to the wall as Martin rounds first and heads for 2. She's in there with a stand-up leadoff double. Nice job by Martin to rip that one in the gap and use her speed to leg it out for 2. As she shoots it right in the gap and is able to get to second. Macy Hughes will step in, runner in scoring position for the Eagles. That's been a highlight of today for Carson-Newman, hitting with runners in scoring position in that first inning. 5 of 6 with runners in scoring position as Hughes takes the first pitch down the middle for strike 1. 14 runs on 9 hits for Carson-Newman. The combination of Warder and Bailey have combined for 8 of those. As the next pitch to Hughes is popped high, foul. New right fielder in the ball game for Wheeling. We'll talk about it here in a moment as this one's high and away, ball 1. Wheeling going with Madison George in right. Make that change here in the second. As the pitch is skied high and out of play. Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. Martin in scoring position after the leadoff double. As Holder takes a long look home, steps back on the rubber. Deals the next 1-2, it's low. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No one out as the Eagles look to continue to add on to what's been a great offensive day, great confidence booster. Right before conference play really hits its stride. As here's a 2-2. Hughes skies it high right side. Faye will watch it fly out of play. Nice at-bat from Hughes in the box, fighting off some pitches and staying alive as she has a chance to cash in Carson-Newman's 15th run of the day that stands on second. The righty Hughes stands back in. The left-handed Holder takes a look home. And this one is lined to first, caught on the line by Faye. Nice awareness by Martin to get back to second safely. And there's one away. Hard hit ball by Hughes. Better play by Faye on the line. Good awareness by Martin to hang up at second and make sure she doesn't get too far in between second and third and give Faye a chance to double her up. First pitch to Bailey Worley, who comes in the pinch hit from Macaulay. Bailey is high for ball 1. As Worley's been able to see some time today, gotten that bat in game 1. And now will step back to the plate in game 2. 1 ball and no strikes to her as she awaits the next pitch of the at-bat. This one's skied to center, Stoner underneath it. She'll make the play for out number 2. Now Martin tagging second to third. She'll dive in safely as it throws offline. So a productive out number 2 off the bat of Bailey Worley. I'll bring Hayden Dye up with a 2-out opportunity. Wheeling looking to keep Carson-Newman scoreless for the first time this afternoon, as the Eagles have scored in every single inning up to this point. 5 runs in the first inning of Game 2, 7 in the second, 2 apiece in the third and fourth, and now 14 here in the first inning of Game 1 as the first pitch to Dye catches the outside corner of the plate for strike 1. Dye, a .419 hitter on the year. Mentioned she's top 5 in almost all statistical categories when it comes to hitting. She'll watch the 0-1 low. Count moves 1-1. To recap those statistical categories that Dye ranks high in: 5th in the conference in average, 5th in RBIs, and 5th in home runs. So she's had a very productive first stretch of the season at the plate. She lines this one to shallow left. It's backhanded by Hollerick, but she can't make the play in time. We'll call that infield single for Hayden Dye, even though it was on the lip of the turf. And that scores 1. Did just enough, got it off the end of the bat over the head of Florzak. Nice job by Hollerick to grab it on a hop, but obviously no play from the outfield or from the edge of the turf. As that brings Brooke Matazowski to the plate. Dye aboard first after the RBI single, and Carson-Newman yet again able to scratch across a run. That's now 6 consecutive innings where the Eagles have scored. Matazowski offers at the first one and misses for strike 1. As Holder looks to limit the Eagles to 1, it'd be the Eagles' lowest output of the day as Matazowski fights it off. Count moves 0-2. The Eagles have put up at least 2 runs in every inning of offensive work here today. 1 here in the second after 14 in the first. As Dye watches the 0-2 outside as the count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Not a bad spot there from Holder. Just missed the outer black of the plate. As she'll step back on the rubber. The 1-2 to Matazowski is skied right side and foul. So Dye aboard first after the infield single that scored Martin from third. And the Eagles lead sits at 15-1, obviously in run rule territory here in the second. As Holder deals the next one too. This one sky to deep center, back on into Stoner to the wall, it's gone. Brooke Matazowski lifts it to center, and that's another home run for the Eagles. It's now 17-1. Matazowski will don the pink cowboy hat. That's had some use this afternoon as she gets under it, lifts it to dead center, and the Eagles continue to balloon this advantage. Just when it looked like Wheeling might be able to hold Carson-Newman scoreless. Here in the second, Holder had Dye in a 2-strike count. And Dye just able to get enough to keep the inning alive and score 1. And then she comes around to score on the Brooke Matazowski home run. Here is Kennedy Warder. She's had a very nice game too. We'll take a look at her afternoon in a moment as she awaits the first pitch of the at-bat from Holder. Warder lifts it to center. Stoner back to the track, spins and makes the play on the run for out number 3. A hard hit ball by Kennedy Warder, but it finds the glove of Stoner in center. Nonetheless, the Eagles tally 3 in the second. It's now 17-1. We'll head to the top of the third here on the Eagles Sports Network.
How do you know you're in a community, not just a town? Well, strangers smile as they walk by. They refill your coffee without you asking. And when you ask directions, people offer to walk you there. Communities give more. The way you know when you walk into First Bank that you are in a real community bank. Great products, direct access to your local bankers, and relationships that can last a lifetime. Don't just have an account. Have a community with First Bank. Member FDIC.
At InterDigital, we strive to be a leading provider of cutting-edge digital and marketing solutions. At InterDigital, we want to help our clients find success. Our team of technology gurus work together to ensure InterDigital continues to progress forward as technology advances. At InterDigital, we make technology work for you. Visit interdigital.com for IT support, web development, virtual tours, graphic design, internet marketing, mobile app, and film production services.
InterDigital, laser focused on your success.
Back for the top of the third here on the Eagle Sports Network. Carson-Newman dominating in this one, 17-1 your score. As Kaylee Bowers will toe the rubber once again. Nice stuff from the freshman so far. Gave up 3 hits in the first, but since then 2 strikeouts. And she's been able to hold the Wheeling offense at bay. Wheeling with lots of ground to cover here in game 2. As the Eagles won the first game 16-1. A couple substitutions in the game. As Elena Smith now at first. Vandergriff no longer in right. There's a substitution there as well. Same defensive alignment regardless in the infield other than Smith. As Border at second, Dye at short, Matazowski at third. Brooks moves to center. As Bowers gets ready to deal the first pitch of the at-bat to George. Right back to the circle, scooped up 31st is in time for out number 1. One down for the Eagles as Bowers gets 1 pitch, 1 out. So Vandergriff and Martin out. Smith in at first for Macy Hughes. As the first pitch of the at-bat to Paxson. Low for ball 1. One down for the Eagle defense here in the top half of the third. As Bowers looks home. Deals a 1-0. This one fouled back off of home plate umpire David Wittenberg, who shakes it off. There's a count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. So talked about the Eagle hitting numbers, 11 of 16 here in game 2. 6 of 9 with runners in scoring position. It's been a big highlight of the afternoon as the 1-1 to Paxson misses well outside, ball 2. It's been a much better game overall hitting-wise for Wheeling, as it wasn't until the top of the 5th where the Cardinals got their first run of the game. Got the first run of this game, but has not been able to stay out in front. As Bowers leaves that one outside, it's 2-1. So a 3-1 count to Paxson. As she looks to work herself aboard, the 3-1. Misses, ball 4. First free pass of the day for Kaylee Bowers, as that puts a runner on first for Miller. So Taylor into left, Macy Hughes now in right. So Hughes moves from first to right field. Taylor moves to left. Taylor in at left, Brooks to center. There's defensive changes, and Worley behind the plate. First pitch the at-bat to Miller, catches the outside edge for strike 1. One down for the Eagle defense. Here in the top of the third, a runner on and Paxson for the Cardinals after the walk. As here's the 0-1. Misses away, ball 1. Here top of the third, Carson-Newman has responded to an early 1-0 deficit. Again with 14 in the first and now 3 in the second. As the 1-1 ground to left side and through past the diving glove of Hayden Dye. 4th of the afternoon for Wheeling. This one off the bat of Shyla Miller. That's now 1st and 2nd for the Cardinals with just 1 down. Here's Katie Sayre to step in, a chance to possibly cash in a couple as Wheeling looking to get back in the swing of things here in game 2. Again, the Cardinals have dropped 9 straight games. And looking to get back in the win column. This one misses away, ball 1. Sayre in the box, Faye on deck, Florzak in the hole for Wheeling here in the top half of the third. As the Cardinals have tallied a run on 4 hits in this ball game. Sayre takes low, ball 2. Bowers, the freshman, continues to be impressive for the Eagles. 2 1/3 so far today. Let's take a look at Sayre's numbers. In limited action, 278, 5 hits. Has worked 7 walks as she awaits the 2-0. It just misses outside, ball 3. So a 3-0 count to Katie Sayre, as if she can work her way aboard, it'll load the bases for Wheeling. As this one catches the outer edge for strike one. An opportunity for Wheeling because your best hitter is on deck. Cassie Fay awaits, hitting .460 on the year. She started all 17 games. She's 23 of 50 in the young season. As Bowers ready to deal the 3-1, the pitch grounded back up the middle to second, scooped up by Warder. She tries to pitch over to second, and Miller slides in ahead of the toss. So Warder tried to give it to Dye on the chopper up the middle, and Dye fumbled it, so no play at either second or first. So bases are loaded for Cassie Fay with just one down. Again, Fay hitting .471 for the Cardinals as she watches the first pitch outside for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes to Fay. Bases are juiced with Sayre on first, Miller on second, and Paxson on third. A chance for Wheeling to get a couple here in the top of the third. Next pitch misses once again, ball two. Fay in the box, Florzak on deck, Hollerick in the hole. As you take a look at Fay's numbers, 24 hits and 51 attempts at the plate. She steps back in and awaits the 2-0. Pitch catches the outer edge, strike one. Bowers up to 48 pitches through 2 1/3. 2 strikeouts for her, only the 1 earned run to speak of, but a chance for Wheeling to tally a couple here. Again, Bowers in her 22 1/3 innings pitch has a 2.82 ERA as the 2-1 misses ball 3. Bowers has only walked 6 opponents all season, in danger of doing so here in a 3-1 count. Nowhere to put Cassie Fay with 1 away. Bowers deals. This one looped towards shallow center. It's down. Scoring easily is Paxson. Pulling up at third is Miller. And that's an RBI single for Cassie Fay. She continues what has been an excellent senior campaign so far. She's 2 for 2 here in game number 2. Just enough on that one to deposit it in the very shallow parts of center field. And Wheeling with 1 now here in the top of the third, looking for more. Bases still loaded for Anna Florzak. First pitch to her. Misses for ball 1. Bases loaded for Wheeling. Bowers ready to deal the 1 out. This one well inside, gets Florzak on the leg. That's a hit by pitch that'll score 1 as Miller will touch home. And Wheeling now with its largest run total in an inning here in these 2 games as it scratched across 2, and the infield will come into chat with Kaylee Bowers. Actually, it's going to indicate a change here. Bowers' day is concluded. The Eagles will give way to Haley Leslie. So Leslie enters the ball game for Bowers. Bowers throws 2 1/3, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts for the freshman. She exits in favor of Leslie. We'll take a look at her on the other side here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Sure, we've been around a while, 171 years to be exact. We know the power of a liberal arts-based Christian education and the tremendous potential of what can be found on this campus, within this community. We are adventurers, dreamers, believers, passionate and compassionate, curious and clever, driven by a common purpose towards a common goal.
I found my passion.
I found purpose.
We are Carson-Newman.
What will you find?
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City and Morristown wants to help feed your business. When you're hungry at lunch, show your business card at Domino's in Jefferson City and Morristown when you make your purchase for pickup or delivery to get 25% off the entire order. That's 25% off your order at Domino's in Jeff City and Morristown when you show your business card. Call 865-471-6700 to get a pizza. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Back for the rest of the top of the third. It's Haley Leslie who enters. Her first pitch to Hollerick is low for ball one. Leslie with a 9.80 ERA on the season does have one decision, a win, a 1-0 record. This one chopped at the middle. It's through. Scoring easily is Sarah. Pulling up at third is Faye. And Wheeling getting some offensive momentum here in the third. It's now 17-4. Just a chopper back up the middle. The Cardinals doing just enough to scratch some runs across here in the top of the third. As now that'll bring Natalie Stoner to the plate. Bases still loaded and just one out. Pitch to Stoner, runs high for ball one. So Hollerick with the RBI single as Haley Leslie has tossed 5 innings of work so far, allowed 9 hits, 7 earned runs, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts. As she readies to deal the 1-0 pitch. This one sliced right side, tailing foul. So Wheeling has struck back with 3 here in the top half of the third. It's its highest total here this afternoon in an inning. Again, only got 1 run in game 1. 1 in the top of the first here in game 2. So Wheeling had the lead for just a moment before Carson-Newman scored 14 in the bottom of the first. As here's the 1-1 from Leslie. This one fought off, foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. Bases loaded, out at any bag for Carson-Newman. As Leslie coming in a tough spot. Going to possibly strand the bases loaded. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. She readies to deal to Stoner. The 1-2. High, ball 2. So Stoner in the box. Blackburn on deck. Green in the hole. For the Wheeling Cardinals here in the top of the third. 17-4 your score. As 14 of the Eagles, 17 runs came in the first. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Haley Leslie gets the punch out. That's her 8th strikeout of the year, her first of this afternoon. Nice pitch by Leslie. That's Stoner to chase a little out of the zone as she tosses that one in for strike 3. Lakin Blackburn steps in. Bases still juiced for Wheeling. First pitch high and away for ball 1. So Blackburn, the freshman, getting the start here in game 2. Her 4th start of the season. Only had 3 at-bats coming in this game. Has had 1 today. She struck out once. As the 1-0 pitch is low for ball 2. Again, Bailey Worley in to catch for Macaulay Bailey. As Worley seen some action today. She's done a good job calling the signals behind the plate. Here's a 2-0 pitch from Leslie. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Nice pitch from Haley Leslie there as she looks to strand the bases loaded and limit the Wheeling damage to just 3. Again, Carson-Newman in control of this game. It's always nice to see your team work on the James, especially with conference play on the horizon. The 2-1, swing and a miss, strike 2. Leslie looking for back-to-back strikeouts. They count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away. As Leslie toes the rubber. Worley gives her a signal. Blackburn awaits the 2-2. The pitch. Fouled off left side. And Blackburn stays alive. Blackburn looking for her first hit of the year. Again, just 4 at-bats. This being her 5th. She struck out 3 times, once today. And is yet to record a hit. Leslie will deal the next 2-2. Blackburn watches high, ball 3. Nowhere to put Lakin Blackburn here with 2 down. So a walk would score another run for Wheeling, who still trails by 13. As Leslie looks home, deals the payoff. This one's popped up, foul. Nice at-bat from the freshman for Wheeling. She's fought off a couple pitches in this at-bat, not making it easy on Haley Leslie to retire her for out number 3. Bases loaded for Wheeling. Faye on second, Florzak, or Faye on third, Florzak on second, Hollerick on first. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Leslie will deal to Blackburn. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Haley Leslie. And she leaves the bases loaded. The Eagles get out of it, but do allow 3 in the top of the third nonetheless. Eagles lead 17-4. We'll be right back here on the Eagles Sports Network.
Domino's Pizza in Jefferson City has deals for Carson-Newman students. Bring in your valid student ID when you order for pickup or delivery, and Domino's in Jefferson City will give you a steaming hot large one-topping pizza for $4.99. That's a large one-topping pizza for Carson-Newman students for $4.99 at Domino's in Jeff City. Call 865-471-6700 to order. That's 865-471-6700. Domino's, the official pizza of the Carson-Newman Eagles.
Okay, let's see. I'm ready to do this. Carson-Newman. It's been around since 1851. Lots of flexible online programs. Wow. World-class accredited academics. A faith and learning environment with professors who really care about me. A top 10 best value school. Carson-Newman gives $48 million a year in financial aid. This is the perfect place. I'm in.
Back for the bottom of the third inning. Eagles lead 17-4. It'll be Winter Morris stepping up to the plate. New arm in for Wheeling. It's Tessa Wise on the rubber for Wheeling. So Holder's day is concluded. Cav, you get that Wise is on the mound? As Wise deals to Morris, it's low for ball 1. Morris steps back in the box. She's 1 for 1 here in game 2. As Wise deals, it's in for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to the freshman Morris. She's had a solid start to her freshman year. Hitting .241. Elena Smith on deck. Trinity Brooks in the hole as we go 7, 8, 9. The pitch is low. Ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. No one out here in the bottom of the third. Eagles obviously in runnable territory, but looking to add more in what's been a really nice offensive day in between game 1 and game 2. 33 runs between the 2 games so far as Morris watches for ball 3. Go back to Morris's last at-bat. She tripled to right and then came in to score on an error by the catcher. The 3-1 catches his own for strike 2. Full count offering to Winter Morris from Tessa Wise, about to be on the way here with no one out. As a 3-2 misses or catches the outside corner, called strike 3. Wise retires Morris for out number 1. Nice pitch. It looks like it's close, but a nice pitch from Wise for her first strikeout. As she has now pitched 16 innings flat on the season, 1-2 win-loss record, 21 earned runs, 19 walks. Again, that's been a storyline for Wheeling here this season as Smith takes away for ball 1. Bottom 3 here at the Vic. Carson-Newman has been in front almost all day long. Wheeling took the lead here in the top of the first for the first time today, but Carson-Newman has quickly rallied that back in as this one's fouled off. The count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
I was like, at least she keeps it. I'm like, gotta keep it positive.
1 ball, 1 strike to Elena Smith.
In the situation, it would be hard to.
The 1-1 is low. Ball 2. Hey, Green. Two balls and 1 strike to Elena Smith in her sophomore season, hitting 273. Watches the next one high for ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike to Smith. As she'll step back in the box. No one on with 1 away for the Eagles here in the bottom of the third. 3-1 is looped out to left. It'll get down for a base hit as Elena Smith is aboard with her first hit of game number 2. As Brooks will step up to the dish. Brooks 0 for 1 with a walk and a strikeout as we take a look at that hit from Smith. She just got enough of it to lift it into left. And it gets down for a base hit. Runner on first. With 1 down as Smith leads off first. This one's lined to left. It's a base hit for Brooks. Back-to-back knocks for the Eagles as Brooks is aboard with a single. Still just 1 away as Brooks gets aboard. And that'll bring Taylor to the plate. Brooks line that one down the left field line. Nice slap right over the head of Florzak. And she moves Smith over to second. So Taylor steps in. This is going to be Sierra Rogers hitting for the Eagles. As Rogers steps up to the dish. First pitch to her down the middle for strike 1. So Sierra Rogers seeing her first action today. As she steps in the box, runners on first and second with 1 away. Talked a lot about the Eagles' numbers with runners in scoring position. 6 of 9 today, looking to improve on that mark here in the third. The 0-1 down the middle for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Sierra Rogers getting her first cuts of the afternoon. Macy Hughes on deck. Bailey Worley in the hole with 1 down. Pitch to Rogers, taken high for ball 1. Again, Wheeling looking to hold Carson-Newman scoreless for the first inning today. Carson-Newman has scored in every single inning it has been at the plate. Given that's been 6 straight innings with scoring for the Eagles here today. As this one runs inside, gets Rogers, and that will load the bases. Rogers takes her base as she shakes it off down the first baseline. As it looked like it got right off her shoulder there as she takes her back. And that'll bring Mason Hughes to the dish. Bases loaded for the Eagles as Hughes 1 for 2 this afternoon here in game number 2. Solid start to her season, hitting a .359. She awaits the first pitch from Wise. 1 down, bases loaded for Carson-Newman. Hughes takes outside. Nice job by Sarah behind the dish to move to her right and glove that one up. As the count moves 1 ball and no strikes. Smith on third, Brooks on second, Rogers on first for Carson-Newman. As here's a 1-0 to Hughes, misses the outside part of the plate for ball 2. So the Eagles with a prime opportunity to get back on the scoreboard, and that would keep that streak we just talked about alive. The Eagles have scored in 6 straight innings today. Hughes awaits a 2-0. Pitch, the line to left, that's down for a base hit. Scoring easily is Smith. Pulling up at third is Brooks. That's an RBI single for Macy Hughes. Now 7 straight innings with a run for Carson-Newman as Hughes got enough of this one to left to score 1. Here's Bailey Worley, a base-loaded opportunity for her. Still looking for that first hit this year. It's going to be her 4th at-bat. Her second here of game 2. First pitch to her. Misses the outside edge for ball 1. So now Brooks on third, Rogers on second, and Hughes on first after the RBI single. Now 18-4, Eagles out in front. As Wise takes a look at her wrist. Deals a 1-0, it runs high, ball 2. Wind still blowing out towards left center field. We haven't really seen that play too big of a role today. The Eagles have been able to launch some long balls here in these two games. As Tua misses outside, ball 3. Nowhere to put Bailey Worley here with one down. Again, Hughes on first, Rogers on second, Brooks on third. Eagles now 7 of 10 with runners in scoring position, 10 of 14 with runners on. As the 3-0 gets the outside corner, take all the way by Worley for strike 1. The Eagles a stellar 14 of 20 overall. 700 flat average here in game 2. As Worley awaits the 3-1. Wise deals. Worley swings and misses for strike 2. Wise looking for a big strikeout here to give Wheeling 2 outs in the frame. But one misfire could walk another run in for Carson-Newman. The payoff popped up high right or left side. Fay is underneath it, but it drops in foul ground. Fay had a play on that. It looked like Worley running down the first baseline might have slightly gotten in the way. Fay didn't want to run into her there, so Fay does not make the play, and Worley stays alive for another pitch. Count remains full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Wise takes a look at her wrist, she deals the next payoff. This one misses outside, ball 4, and Bailey Worley works a walk. Scores 1, makes it 19-4. And Hayden Dye with a chance to give the Eagles at least an even 20 here in this ballgame. Again, Wheeling has yet to hold Carson-Newman scoreless today in an inning, and it is yet to hold Carson-Newman to less than 2 runs in a frame. That's now 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. 14 in the first, 3 in the second, now 2 in the 3rd. Dye awaits the first pitch of the at-bat, a tie for ball 1. Worley moves into first, Rogers into second. Should be Hughes in that second, Rogers in that third. The 1-0 is high, ball 2. Tessa Wise now up to 26 pitches, only 12 of which for strikes. She's recorded a third of an inning pitch, her ERA above 10 as well. Talked about Hayden Dye quite a bit and how she's top 5 in the league in a lot of statistical categories as she swings and misses at the 2-0 for strike 1. Dye a .419 average in 21 games played, 23 RBIs, which is 5th in the league. Stats yet to update, but Macaulay Bailey will hold the league lead after her performance this afternoon. There's a 2-1. Gets the outside corner for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here, bottom 3, the Eagles have the chance to put up another crooked number with a dangerous Hayden Dye at the dish. 5th in the league in home runs is Dye with 6. The righty Wise looks home, ready to deal the 2-2. This one fought off left side and foul. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. As right-handed Wise back on the rubber. Next 2-2. Swing and a miss up high, but it gets off the glove of Sayre. Run will score, and Dye will get aboard first. So a drop third strike that scores 1. Hayden Dye races down the first baseline and is in safely. This one just deflected off the glove of Sayre. Well, they're going to say she was out because first base was occupied. Right call there. As Dye is retired for the second out, but a run does score. So it's now 20-4. After the drop third strike, retires Dye. Worley moves over to second. As here's a first pitch to Brooke Matazowski. It's outside for ball 1. Second and third for the Eagles, who now have a flat 20 on the afternoon here in the bottom of the 3rd. As Hughes on third, Worley on second. The pitch to Matazowski down the middle for strike 2. Or strike 1, excuse me. Ball counts 1-1 with Brooke Matazowski. Kennedy Warder on deck. She's 2 for 3 this afternoon. Matazowski 2 for 2. She awaits the 1-1. Wise looks down at her wrist. Deals a 1-1 pitch. It's high, ball 2. Runners on second and third for the Eagles. And it's a 2-1 count to Matazowski. 20-4 your score. Here in the bottom of the third, the Eagles have put up 3 here in the frame. As Matazowski takes high, count moves 3 balls and 1 strike. First base is vacant, but second and third occupied by Worley and Hughes. As the Eagles look to continue to be productive with 2 outs, 6 of 8 here in game 2 with 2 outs in the inning. 3-1 to Matazowski is lifted deep to left. No doubt shot for Brooke Matazowski, a 3-run home run. And the Eagles continue to pile it on. Matazowski launches yet another. And she'll touch them all. 23-4 Eagles. Absolutely no doubt on that one. Matazowski knew it as soon as she touched up the softball. It was gone. And the Eagles now with 6 runs in the frame as the lead continues to swell. The Wheeling infield will come in and chat with Tessa Wise as the bases are now empty with 2 away. It looks like there's going to be a change here. It looks like Tessa Wise may hand the ball over to a new arm as she's standing outside the pitcher's circle. It will be a new arm for Wheeling. So we'll get a new arm into the ball game with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. The Eagles with 6 runs now in the bottom half of the third inning. It's 23-4. We'll be right back with the rest of the third here on the Eagles Sports Network.
This is Carson-Newman men's basketball alum Taylor Hawkins. I want to help your family secure its financial future. I'm with Modern Woodman Financial Planning, where we touch lives and secure futures. Let Modern Woodman protect your family's financial security through life insurance, retirement planning, and financial services. You can contact me, Taylor Hawkins, at cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. That's cneagles.com/Modern Woodman. Help secure your family's financial future through Modern Woodman Financial Planning.
The #1 source for Carson-Newman athletics gear, shop cneagles.com, where you can find gear from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour. Shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, shorts, pants, hats, and scarves. Shop cneagles.com is your source for everything CN. You can even show your school spirit on your smartphone or tablet. All of your game day essentials can be found in one place. Shop cneagles.com.
Back here for the rest of the bottom of the third as Kennedy Warder steps in. She'll face off with Cameron Enos as the first pitch is high for ball 1. A little record watching here at the Vic. The all-time record for runs scored at this park is 28 against Belmont Abbey in 1996. The Eagles are at 23. As Warder awaits the 1-0. The pitch is high, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Kennedy Warder as Enos has thrown 2/3 of an inning this year. She's walked 1. Not much to speak of yet this year for her. As the count sits 2 balls and no strikes to Kennedy Warder. Pitch down the middle for strike 1. Bottom 3, the Eagles have tallied 23 runs on 15 hits. 14 of those runs came in the bottom of the first after the Eagles found themselves behind for the first time this afternoon. It was 1-0 after the top of the first in favor of Wheeling, but Carson-Newman has flipped that on its head as Warder lines this one out towards short. Nice play by Hollerick to knock it down, but the throw to first skips by Fay at first. Still a really nice job by Hollerick to knock that line drive down and have a shot at making the play. Waiting to see if that's going to be ruled an infield single. It will. For Kennedy Warder. Hard hit ball, tough play for Hollerick. Almost made it. Faye tried to stretch and grab it, but she could not. As that'll bring Winter Morris back to the dish. So the 16th hit of the day for Carson-Newman. And Winter Morris will step up. Here's a pitch from Enos to Morris. She lines it down the right field line, but it's tailing just foul. Nice day so far for Morris. She's 1 of 2 at the plate, had the triple. Called it an inside the park home run, but it was a triple and an error that scored 2. And she came in to score on the error. The Eagles now 8 of 10 with 2 outs in the frame here in game 2, 16 of 23 overall at the plate. As Morris awaits the 0-1. Enos looks home and fires. That catches the outer edge for strike 2. 23-4 your score. As the Eagles continue to pile it on. Morris looking to extend the frame for Carson-Newman. No balls, 2 strikes to count. Warder aboard first. Enos looks home and deals the 0-2. Morris grounds it right side, but foul. Morris in the box, Elena Smith on deck. She has a hit in the frame. And then Trinity Brooks in the hole with the top of the order. Shortly awaiting 7, 8, 9 in the Eagles order. The next 0-2 to Morris. Low gets away from Sarah, advancing to second as Warder, no problem. She's in standing up. Count moves 1 and 2. One ball and 2 strikes to count with 2 down as Moritz awaits a 1-2. This one's low, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Warder on second. Here's a 2-2. Morris takes high, ball 3. Full count with Warder on second. First base is unoccupied. So Morris trying to work herself aboard as the wind continues to gust here at the Vic. Now moving out directly to center field. The American flag next to the scoreboard is flapping at an efficient pace as this one is low and away. Ball 4 gets away from Sayre, but Warder will stay home at second. And Winter Morris takes first. Here's Elena Smith with runners on first and second and 2 down. Enos looking for that elusive out number 3. As it seems like all day, that third out has been getting away from Wheeling time and time again. Again, the Eagles 8 for 10 with 2 outs in the frame as the first one misses high for ball 1.
I'm trying to stand in the sun, I'm freezing.
The Eagles have walked 9 times here in game number 2. They have 6 extra base hits. As it's really been the Eagles' day at the plate. 1 ball and no strikes to count. This one lifted to right. Going back is George to the track, and she makes the play near the wall. George robs Smith of extra bases, and Wheeling gets out of the frame, but not before allowing 6 runs. The Eagles have put up 23 here in game number 2. It's 23-4. We'll be back at the top of the 4th here on the Eagles Sports Network.
When you're sick and tired of fast food and need a fresh home-cooked meal, turn to Lisa's Country Kitchen. Lisa's been cooking up her fresh, never-frozen food for the Lakeway area for more than 15 years. Lisa's cares about her customers. You may enter a stranger, but you'll leave a friend. From foot-long hot dogs to juicy steaks, Lisa's has the best food for the best prices.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Serving East Tennessee for 40 years, Magaha Electric is the perfect choice for all your electrical projects. Magaha Electric specializes in commercial, retail, manufacturing, residential, and industrial contracting needs. Magaha Electric can provide superior service, technical know-how, and realistic budgeting for any size project in a timely, cost-effective manner. Visit MagahaElectric.com for all your electrical contracting needs. Magaha Electric, your East Tennessee electrical contracting source.
Back for the top of the 4th. It's all Carson-Newman here in this one, but we are record watching a little bit. We'll talk about that here in a moment as Carson-Newman leads big time, 23-4. As here's the first pitch to George. She fouls it off. Leslie still in the circle for Carson-Newman as she came in for the starter, Kaylee Bowers. As the first pitch fouled off by George, to count 0-1. This one's low, ball 1. George leading off the inning, batting at 9th in the Wheeling order. Paxton on deck, Miller in the hole. For the Wheeling Cardinals here in the 4th. As that one clips the inside corner for strike 2. George hitting .353 on the year with 6 hits, 5 RBIs. She's walked once and struck out once. Leslie looking to punch her out for the second time this season. Here's the 1-2. High and away, ball 2. So Sierra Rogers now in left for the Eagles as she came in an inning ago. Hit for Abby Martin. As this one's fouled off, hits off Worley as she can't hold on to it. The count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. George will step back in, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count as Wheeling looked for similar production that it had an inning ago. 3 runs in the 3rd. It's the most Wheeling has had in an inning so far today. As a 2-2 misses high and away, ball 3. The Eagles have yet to be held scoreless in an inning. The least amount of runs it scored has been 2. Scored 6 in the 3rd, 3 in the 2nd, and 14 in the 1st. That's a crooked number here in this ball game. As here's a 3-2 to George. High ball 4. Nice job by George. She works the walk. As now the top of the order will come back up for Wheeling. It'll be Mackie Paxson. As George stands on first. Paxson awaits the first pitch of the at-bat. That one gets the inside corner for strike 1. Paxson singled and walked. She's 1 for 1 here in game 2. Came around to score in the 1st, which gave Wheeling the early advantage. This one skied in the shallow infield. Warder in from her hole at second base. She'll make the play for out number 1. Now it'll be Miller, the freshman, to step in. She's 1 for 2 this afternoon. Nice job by Warder to get a good read on that shallow infield fly. As now Miller steps in, Leslie will deal the first pitch of the at-bat. Miller watches high for ball 1. So Wheeling has 5 outs to work with. Try and bring this one within 7 runs. It's going to be tough. Down 19 right now. Wheeling will need to score 12 in between the next 2 innings to keep this ball game alive as this one runs inside for ball 2. 23 runs, quite a lot here in this ball game, and 28 the all-time record here at the Vic against Belmont Abbey in 1996. Carson-Newman close to eclipsing that total. As here's 2-0. That misses, ball 3. George on first after the leadoff walk. Since then, Paxson flew out. And now Miller's going to square around a bunt in a 3-0 count. Leslie will deal. Catches the inside part of the plate for strike 1. So Leslie trying to work her way back in this count. She's been productive in her full inning pitch for the Eagles. Only allowing 1 hit. The 1 walk came just moments ago to George, and 2 strikeouts for her this afternoon as well. Here's a 3-1 to Miller. She watches inside corner, strike 2. Didn't like that one. She danced out of the way of it. But nonetheless called strike 2. Is the count now full? Miller grounded into a fielder's choice. And then she singled through the left side in her 2 at-bats. As she awaits the 3-2 payoff. Leslie gets the call from Worley. She deals. This one's skied high, right side, and foul. Count remains full. As Cardinals look to do something with George standing on first. Again, likely not coming back all the way in this one, but maybe looking for some positive momentum to break this losing skid that they've been on here in the past couple weeks. Next payoff. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Leslie has her 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. And Miller's retired for out number 2. Auburn Katie Sayre into the box. That's a nice pitch from Leslie. Ran that one inside. Miller couldn't lay off. And Leslie retires her for the 2nd out of the inning. Here's the pitch to Sayre. It's taken high for ball 1. Top 4 here at the Vic. It's been an elongated 4 innings due to the large amount of scoring the Eagles have done this afternoon. It's now 39 runs through 7 innings full of offensive work as this one is in for strike 1. 16-1 final in game 1. And now a 23-4 score in the 4th inning of game 2. Leslie now through an inning and a third. She's thrown 31 pitches. As she'll deal the 1-1. This one lined right side, foul. Count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes. Leslie looking for back-to-back punch-outs to end the frame. She looks home, gets a call from Worley behind the dish. Then deals a 1-2. This one grounded left side towards the Cardinals' dugout and foul. Carson-Newman this season 6-1 at home, 3-5 on the road, and 1-3 in neutral site games. So the Vic has been Carson-Newman's comfort zone, it seems, this season. The only loss at home coming to UNC Pembroke in the doubleheader a week or so ago as this one runs high to Sayre. Advancing to second is George on the wild pitch, and the count moves 2 balls and 2 strikes. Looking through the Eagles' schedule, again, it started with that trip to Florida where the Eagles put up 10 runs on Eckerd before losing the second game of that doubleheader 4-3, and then dropping the next 2 at Florida Southern, 3-1 and 5-0. And in the Charger Classic, the Eagles lost 2 of 3 games there. Sayre lifts this one to left, and it's foul. And then the Eagles found their footing a little bit after losing 2 to King. Went on a 4-game winning streak before dropping 1 to UNC Pembroke and has now won 4 of their last 5. Actually, 5 of their last 6 with the result in game 1. And looks well on its way to winning 6 of its last 7. 2-2 the count remains. Leslie deals to Sayre. This one lined right to the Carson-Newman dugout. And it's foul. Nice fight by Sayre in the box as she stays alive. Look at it. You see Sayre just lined this one right off the fencing. Everybody stays out of harm's way there. As the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs, runner on second and George. As Leslie deals a 2-2, it's high, ball 3. Faye on deck, Florzak in the hole. As Cassie Faye has had herself a really nice day, hitting now 41 on the season. Started the day at 460, so she's had quite the afternoon. As now Sayre lines this one to left. Rogers back, but it gets over her head. It scores 1 and George easy, and Sayre is in with a long single, an RBI single that scores Wheeling's 5th run of the game. Just over the head of Sierra Rogers, who recently entered and left. Found a nice piece of that one, did Sayre. Launch it over the head of Rogers and left, and George taken off on contact. Scores no problem. So that will bring Cassie Faye to the dish, looking to improve on what's been a great afternoon for her. Leslie deals first pitch of the at-bat. This one popped up towards short. Hayden Dye calls off. Rogers makes the play for out number 3. So Wheeling does get an RBI single by Sayre, but the inning quickly comes to a close. Carson-Newman still leads Wheeling 23-5. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th here on the Eagle Sports Network.
There's something about a small community that unites us, whether it's cheering on our favorite team or the way we come together in a crisis. Small communities are made up of people with big hearts. We're dedicated to hard work and innovation through sunny days and stormy nights. AEC is always here, powering the people and the places that make our community a spectacular place to call home. AEC, power what matters most.
Insurance, it's about people, not things. It's about security. It's about confidence. It's about relationships. It's about trust. It's about you. As a local independent agent, Bible Insurance Agency can design an insurance program that's just right for you and your family. Give the people you love safe, sound, secure protection from Auto Owners Insurance. Call Bible Insurance Agency 423-586-4320 or go by 1600 East Andrew Johnson Highway in Morristown.
Back for the bottom of inning number 4. Might be the last time Carson-Newman steps to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As there's a couple changes being made. Michael Graves meeting with home plate umpire David Wittenberg. Might see a couple pinch hitters here in this inning. As Enos back on the rubber. Brooks will step in to start it. And then I'll head back to the top for potentially Sierra Rogers and Macy Hughes, but we will see here in what could be the last plate appearances for the Eagles, leading by 18, 23-5. Talked a lot about the Eagle offense. You can't really understate it. Almost 40 runs in between 2 games. 23 here in this one, 16 in game 1. And the Eagles offense has yet to be held scoreless in an inning. Brooks will step up to face off against Enos here with no one out. First pitch from Enos, slap back up the middle. That's a base hit for Trinity Brooks. Now Brooks 2 for 3 at the plate. She walked in her first at-bat, struck out in her second, and now back-to-back singles for her and back-to-back plate appearances. Just a nice piece of hitting, taking it right back where it came from, up the middle. As this will bring Sierra Rogers to the plate. Brooks on first with no one out. First pitch of the at-bat from Enos is popped up right side, and Faye will watch it still out of play. And Rogers' only plate appearance today, not only just in this game, but today, Rogers was hit by a pitch in the 3rd. An inning in which Carson-Newman put up 6 runs. Here's the 0-1. That misses outside. Ball 1. 6 is a crooked number, but it happens to be the 3rd highest scoring total the Eagles have put up in an inning. 14, obviously, far and away the most the Eagles put up today in one inning, but also put up 7 in the 2nd inning of game 1. As Rogers awaits the 1-1, the pitch is high and away, ball 2. So Brooks on first after the leadoff single. Rogers looks to do something with her. Again, we'll wait and see who comes to the plate. Saw head coach Michael Graves speaking with home plate umpire David Wittenberg in between innings, maybe indicating some changes. As here's a 2-1 to Rogers. Fouled off. She got on top of it. The count moves 2 balls and 2 strikes. No one out here in the bottom of the 4th. Eagles with an 18-run lead, 23-5 your score. Again, thank you for joining me here on the Eagle Sports Network. Taking you through all today's action as Rogers awaits the 2-2. Enos looks home. Fires a 2-2 pitch. Rogers lifts this one to right. Back is George, and it gets over her head. Brooks with a late jump will round second and head for 3rd. And she'll dive in safely at 3rd base. A late jump, maybe looking to tag at first. And Rogers is held to a single, but she does launch one deep to right. It gets down. So there will be a pinch hitter. It'll be Nicolette Ferguson, as that one from Rogers got down on the warning track, and she was able to get aboard. Runners on the corners for Nicolette Ferguson. Rogers on first, Brooks on 3rd, as Ferguson will get her first cuts of the day. First pitch of the at-bat to her is high and in, ball 1. Ferguson hitting .250 on the season, 4 plate appearances, so she's tallied 1 hit. Looking for one here this afternoon. The count moves 1 ball and no strikes. Here's a pitch to Ferguson. She watches it inside, ball 2. Worley on deck, die in the hole for Carson-Newman. Here in the 4th, as a count 2 balls and no strikes. Enos looks home, gets a call. Behind the plate from Sayre. Here's 2-0. That's away, ball 3. So first and third occupied. Second is vacant with a ball here. Will send Ferguson down to first and will load the bases with nobody out. Lightly taken all the way here is Ferguson in a 3-0 count as Enos delivers. Catches the outer black for strike 1. 3 balls and 1 strike to count to Nicolette Ferguson. And as Enos takes a look at her wrist, and she'll deliver the 3-1. This one down the middle, strike 2. So Enos trying to battle back and retire Ferguson. The count moves from 3-0 quickly to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a payoff to Ferguson. She watches well outside, ball 4. That'll load the bases for Bailey Worley. So Worley steps in. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center and a bases loaded walk that scored 1. Enos will deliver the first pitch of the at-bat. Worley watches down the middle for strike 1. Worley with 1 RBI on the season, that coming in this game. Still looking for her first hit as count moves 0-1. Enos checks her wrist, still ready to deliver the 0-1. Worley watches high and away. Count moves 1 ball and 1 strike. Bases loaded for the Eagles. Ferguson on first, Rogers on second, Brooks on third. 23 runs on 18 hits for the Eagles, 5 runs on 7 hits. Much better offensive output for Wheeling here in game 2, but not enough to overcome some hot bats today for Carson-Newman. As here's a 1-1. That's low, ball 2. No one out here in the bottom of the 4th. The Eagles looking to extend this lead that sits at 18. Here's a pitch from Enos. Worley lines it left side towards the box. Foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count now. To the catcher, Bailey Worley, who came in a little while ago for Macaulay Bailey. As Enos ready to deliver the 2-2. Here's the pitch to Worley. She watches high and away, ball 3. Full count to Bailey Worley with no one out here in the bottom of the 4th. The end, when the Eagles come back out defensively, they'll need to secure 3 outs in order to get their second run rule victory of the day. Took the first game 16-1. Now with a comfortable cushion here in game 2. Here's a payoff. Worley swings and misses strike 3. And Enos sets her down on strikes. First strikeout of the day. First strikeout of the season for Cameron Enos. As that'll bring Allie Goodwin to the plate. She's going to pinch hit for Hayden Dye. With 1 out in the inning. She got a base hit in her plate appearance in game 1. Goodwin will step in. Base is still juiced for the Eagles. as Goodwin steps in. First pitch the at-bat to Goodwin is taken off the plate for ball one. One ball and no strikes to count. Here's a pitch to Goodwin. She watches it on the outer block for strike one. Ferguson on first, Rogers on second, Brooks on third. As Goodwin will await the 1-1. Enos comes home with a pitch. This one's chopped foul. It got off the leg of Goodwin. And she'll retreat to the box. Count moves 1 ball and 2 strikes on the foul ball.
Washington.
As that one obviously got off the foot of Goodwin in the box. As she retreats, ready for the 1-2.
She was like, Washington. I was like, where? She was like, Washington.
Enos leans and deals. Low, ball 2. Brooke Matazowski on deck, barring any changes, and Kennedy Warder in the hole. As Goodwin steps back in, 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Here's the pitch. Swinging this up high, strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts for Cameron Enos, her first 2 of the season. That will bring Brooke Matazowski back to the plate. She's homered in this game, 3 for 3 here in game number 2. She's homered twice. She's got 6 RBIs here in game 2. An RBI single, a 2-run home run, and a 3-run home run. First pitch to Matazowski misses on the outer part for ball 1. Bases loaded for the Eagles. In danger of being held scoreless for the first time this afternoon. As Wheeling looks for a scoreless frame from Cameron Enos. Big bat to deal with here, though, as Matazowski awaits. This one's high and away, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes to Matazowski as Enos takes her time looking at her wrist. Gets the signal. The 2-0. Outside, ball 3. Likely taken all the way. Here's Matazowski. Nowhere to put her here with 2 outs in the front. Enos leans and deals the 3 out. Catches the outside corner, strike 1. Matazowski's about to ditch her bat and take her bag. But she'll have to step back in and await a 3-1 offering. Enos ready to deal the 3-1, the pitch. This one lined deep to right, George back on it and makes a play for out number 3. So Wheeling holds Carson-Newman scoreless in the 4th, the first time it has done so between these 2 games, but Carson-Newman still leads 23-5. It needs 3 outs for its second run rule victory of the day on the Eagle Sports Network.
Don't know what to wear on game day? Head over to shopseeandeagles.com for all of your Carson-Newman Athletics gear. You can find clothing from Adidas, Columbia, Nike, and Under Armour to cover you from head to toe. ShopSeeingEagles.com also has duffel bags, backpacks, jewelry, pet supplies, and gifts. Don't waste any more time. Prove you are the ultimate Carson-Newman fan with the official gear of the Eagles at ShopSeeingEagles.com. Visit today.
Dorm food got you down? Need a home-cooked meal? Then Lisa's Country Kitchen is for you. Lisa's Country Kitchen has been feeding Carson-Newman students for 15 years. Lisa's has a family-friendly atmosphere all day long, from the morning with her $2.99 breakfast specials to dinner with Lisa's fresh, never-frozen steaks. Carson-Newman students get a 10% discount with their student ID.
Lisa's Country Kitchen on Route 92 off Old Andrew Johnson Highway. The best food for the best prices.
Nicolette Ferguson into the circle for the Eagles. Here in the top of the fifth, looking to close this one out. Wheeling would need quite the effort to keep this ball game alive. Eagles lead 23-5. So Ferguson ready to roll as she'll face off with Hannah Florzak. 5, 6, 7 in the Wheeling order, as it'll go Florzak, Hollerick, and Stoner. Ferguson enters the circle for Haley Leslie, who tossed an inning in 2/3. Ferguson's numbers 2.86 ERA and 29 and a third innings pitch. One save. This obviously not a save situation, but a late game situation for Nicolette Ferguson. First one popped up right side, and Smith will make the play in foul ground for a quick out number 1. One pitch, 1 out for Ferguson, the Eagle defense. And that'll bring Hollerick to the plate. That one just popped up. Easy play for Smith, right next to the first base bag. As Hollerick awaits the first pitch of the at-bat from Ferguson. It's high and away, ball 1. Hollerick 1 for 2 this afternoon. Grounded out to third, and then an RBI single up the middle. Much better offensive output here in game 2 for Wheeling, as this one's lined to left, caught on a line by Rogers for out number 2. 3 pitches and 2 outs for Nicolette Ferguson. Smooth sailing so far. She'll deal to a pinch hitter here in Brooke Slomkowski. So Slomkowski will step up and hit with 2 down here in the top of the 5th. And Wheeling's down to its last out. So Slomkowski steps in. Ferguson looks for the decisive out number 3. This one's popped up back towards the circle, and Ferguson will make the play. That will end the ball game. Carson-Newman wins 23-5 here in game 2. Puts up 39 runs of offense between the 2 games and holds Wheeling to just 6. Carson-Newman sweeps a doubleheader to sit at over 500 for the first time this year. Other than being 1-0 to start the year, Carson-Newman now 12-10 on the season, still 2-0 in the South Atlantic Conference. SAC play coming up this week. We'll have your coverage here on the Eagle Sports Network.